Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Leanne, if you've not been here before, and I am on a weight loss journey. You got it. I haven't been losing loads of weight lately, but I am holding in there and saying this is my weight loss journey. So this recording, I'm just going to pre-warn you, is me catching up, reflecting while eating my breakfast because I've got to go to work, unfortunately. And it's just a stage in my journey. I feel like I need to cover, I need to have a look at myself, and I need to do a reflection kind of vlog. So I use my camera and YouTube just to talk to myself. I am in the process of catching up all my videos to real time because I would like to talk to others. First and foremost, I've got to say I have been so blessed on my videos. I don't really get to say this a lot because my videos were like pre-recorded, and at the time I felt so alone, and I'm eating my eggs for breakfast as I always do. I've got 3 of these because today is the day. But part of this day is actually being honest with myself and having a look at where I am, where I've come to, and where I need to go. So like I've just started, first and foremost, I just want to say a huge thank you and sending huge love for people that have like been there through my journey. Like even though it was behind, even though it wasn't in real time, the comments and thing like support that I've had have had a massive impact on me. So I massively suffer with self-esteem issues. It's like through childhood trauma, from school, from relationships. Like there's loads going off in my little head where I never feel worth it and I never feel confident in myself, I suppose. So I put on a massive front that I'm really confident and that everything's okay and blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, it's not. And I've started this journey. I'd always put everybody else first, above myself. And it just got to a stage where I needed to do a bit of a U-turn on that. Recording this allowed me to talk to myself and be able to reflect on each stage, my ups, my downs, rather than just hiding those feelings and hiding what was going off and hiding my way and hiding from the world really, and putting on this like huge front that life was okay. And do you know, for that I am massively grateful that I started this vlog. But I also started this vlog because I wanted other people to know that there's not just them out there feeling like that. If they feel like me, I wanted other people to see that rawness and that is actually a thing and that it's okay, and that if I can like push through certain boundaries, then other people can too. And I've been really, really, really lucky that along the way, even if these people are still not with me now, that along the way I've got in contact with some absolutely amazing people that along the way have ultimately massively changed my life, like more than what they would ever know or probably ever really give themselves credit for. I do get some shitty comments, don't get me wrong, but looking at it, I don't mind getting shitty comments. Everybody's opinions on me, my weight loss journey, like I've put myself out there on social media. That's kind of what it is. A lot of the shitty comments came from people that I don't really watch all the way along, that don't really properly know me, that they've only seen like small snippets of my journey. And I was actually okay with it because they're not saying anything that I don't already think about myself. And there's a hard truth in that I had to like read those comments and be like, you know what? There's a truth in there. There is a truth in there. And that also helped with my reflection of where I were and what I was doing. Now, don't get me wrong, there's reasonings behind what I did and where my journey went, which I'm going to try and touch on in this video, but there was a hard truth that I'm quite glad that I got to experience that, because it's a learning curve. So my journey started on Slimming World. I'm not going to eat my egg while I'm talking to you because I think that will be gross. I'll just start drinking my black beanies coffee, and we'll just have a chat and a catch up. Oh, it's freezing outside, so I am proper wrapped up in my snuggly cardigan, which I love, which isn't that attractive, but I'm okay with that because it's warm. So I started my weight loss journey on Slimming World. I didn't know what to expect, and I genuinely didn't think I was going to be very successful. So off I trundled on this adventure journey. It was a growth for me that year, and I'm not going to lie, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed putting a bit more time into myself rather than everybody else. So my history is I've got a low self-esteem, but I'm also a massive empathist. So everybody around me, it's like their life matters so much more than mine. And I used to throw myself into everybody else's problems, everybody else's life, relationships, because I wanted to mend everything for everybody else and I ignored myself. For one, it's because I'm a people pleaser, but also because while everyone was concentrating on everybody else's problems, I wasn't concentrating on mine. So I started off this journey and I massively put myself first. And don't get me wrong, I still had my daughters that I put first, Oliver that I generally put first, and some friends and stuff. But ultimately I started being a lot more selfish. That came with it a massive head fuck, because I'm not used to doing that. And I was proud of myself on one respect, and it was proving to be successful, but alternatively, it also made me feel super guilty. But anyway, I soldiered through, did a lot of reflection. I watched my videos back, and it helped. It helped me grow. It helped me start recovering from a lot of trauma that I've had probably growing up and in my adult years, and it really helped. However, through weight loss and the positives that I got with it, because when I was a lot bigger, I had to massively concentrate just on the numbers on the scales, because I didn't see any improvement in my health, in my fitness, in the way I looked, it just didn't impact anywhere else other than watching the numbers go down. That was good because it gave me focus and I was dead set on the numbers, but it also was a negative because I got obsessed with the numbers. It became more about getting them numbers down than what it was the improvements and what I actually originally started for this journey, if that makes sense. So I got to Christmas last year and I was that obsessed and that out of control, and my head just span, and I went to the New You plan, which is a meal replacement diet. So around that time, just so you've got a bit of a backstory, because I'm not sure how much I covered that in my story. At the time where I was losing control, running up to Christmas, there was the stress of Christmas. There was stress that started because I had a hormonal issue going off. I still have, to be honest, but I've kind of come to terms and got my head around that. The head fuck of losing weight and not feeling like I'd done enough, that was a massive thing. I started feeling not good enough. And in conjunction around that time, what happened was I happened to go on Oliver's phone because we were in the van and we needed directions, or I needed to look at, I can't remember what the circumstances were, but we were looking on something to find, we were out in the van and we're trying to find a location or where we were going to go to next. My phone was flat, so I picked his phone up. And I ended up finding out that he had been online on Facebook on about 6 different young lasses as profiles, and had basically been perving on them. And I'm going to say it how it is. I'm not sugarcoating this because there's no point. That, in conjunction with my low self-esteem, I'd got a bit of a head fuck with Christmas coming up. Tia were on about applying for cruise ships. Lily had got a lot of changes. I was very hormonal. All the historical trauma all just like arose. I've had a load of bad relationships where I've been let down and the trust has been screwed over, and it absolutely just threw me. Like, it was like I had this thought that I was like, I'd lost all this weight, I'd tried so much harder, I was making more effort with my appearance, and it made me feel like I was just not good enough and that I'd not done enough and that I was never going to get there, and it just sent me into a meltdown. It became about losing weight to please Oliver, really, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I added these girls, like beautiful girls, don't get me wrong, really slim, young, gorgeous lasses. I do not hate on other women. This was not their fault. But what I ended up doing is adding those girls on Facebook. Yeah, I know, this is just crazy. A couple of them accepted it. And to this day, I actually got them on my Facebook. And I'm keeping them there because I think it's like a lesson learned. And I don't know how fucked up that is, don't get me wrong. But I was then comparing myself to these girls and I just didn't feel good enough. So then I was like, the new you plan, I'm going to lose more weight. It takes away that stress of like comfort eating because I feel really upset and really stressed about it. And it was just like a massive like meltdown, like in every manner possible. I'd lost all this weight and I was happier and I was seeing the benefits, but then all that got lost. And I went on to New You Plan to remove the choice of food because I could feel myself going to food for like a crutch and a comfort. And I really didn't want to, because ultimately I wanted to be as thin as possible because I wanted to please Oliver, because I thought that'll make it all better. Like, I need to be like these girls. Now, I'm not stupid. On reflection, I am never going to be those girls. And in my head, I know that. Like, I am fully aware of, I am not, these girls are like really pretty, really dainty, really girly girls, vulnerable girls, I'm going to say. Like, I'm saying vulnerable girls. There's lots of different kinds of people. Nothing's right or wrong. I'm fiercely independent. I'm really quirky and weird. And I am not like aesthetically pleasing. I'm not a pretty girl. I've got positive qualities. Like, I'm dynamic, I'm driven, I am fearless, I am clever, I'm a lot of things. But I am not what all these girls had in common. Like, I'm not slim. I'm not pretty. Like, I'm not sexy. I'm not like a vulnerable, like passive girl at all. And to see that in front of me made me want to, like, I love Oliver a lot. I really do. And I wanted him to want me like he obviously looked and wanted at these girls. And I felt lost. It was like a massive kick. But it wasn't just that. It was everything else in conjunction with it, like hormonal issues, health issues, the struggle of like your weight loss coming to like a steady medium, the run up to Christmas, the stress, finance, work, everything. So all that made me really, really vulnerable. And this was like a final smash in the face where I was just like, I don't want to be with him anymore. But then I wanted to be with him and I loved him. And then I was like saying this is normal. I don't blame him for looking at other girls because I'm so fat, ugly and not pretty or all these things. I need to change. I need to be them things. And it was just fucking ridiculous, let's be honest. It was stupid because I'm never going to be anybody else other than myself. So this like overlapped over Christmas. I did stick to the New You Plan. I massively like restricted myself, which was brilliant because on the scales I was losing weight and my clothes were littler and I was like being successful at what I was doing, but I wasn't. It came at detriment of my mental health, like hugely. All of the problems just kept piling on top. It was a massive like head screw, like you would not believe. Then came my 40th birthday. Tia then was leaving to go on to cruise ships. That in itself was a massive grievance for me. I was trying to be strong for Tia and saying it was okay because she struggled with it. We are so close as a mum and daughter, and with Lily as a family. And her leaving and going on cruise ships, and she didn't settle to the cruise ship straight away. It just, that all threw me massively. I had my 40th birthday, I had my holiday to Magaluf, then I came home not long after, I went through summer. That was really hard for me. My head wasn't in it. I completely lost the plot. And because I knew that I got this head fuck going on, my mental health wasn't healthy, I needed to just ease off of myself because I needed to remove the obsession with becoming thinner to be like other people, and I needed to get back to myself. So all that took time. It took a lot of healing, a lot of reflection. Sorry, I'm gonna sit squatter. It took a hell of a long time. In that, I had the issue with the wedding where I couldn't go on the hen do. That was all really stressful. I lost a really good friend. Then we still went on the holiday to Turkey, which again was really stressful because it's sadness for me and I hate upsetting people, and I lost somebody that was supposed to be a really good friend. That was really a massive grievance for me. I've had to build on my relationship with myself and with Oliver. I just had so much going off. I had a wedding in the middle of that. My relationship with friends have changed a lot. There was just a lot going on, and my mental health suffered for that, massively. So I took literally all the summer to pull myself back round. I then, after going to Turkey, a few weeks later, had the holiday to Santorini, which I've been really looking forward to. But then I was really upset with myself because I put weight on. So then I didn't like getting dressed up to go on holiday. I hated it. I had a really good time, and I am lighter than what I was, but I could tell that I put weight on. That was really getting me down. But I needed to not feel that, so I had to take that time then to really reflect. I've pushed through going to the gym, which was painful and made me feel shit about myself, but ultimately then has made me feel better. So I do think that was a good move. It's something that I've put off throughout all my journey because I've had this proper issue with going to the gym and how that feels for me. And then I went on holiday, like I said, to Santorini, and I'm just back. I've been back from Santorini for a week. I haven't dieted. I've settled back into life and getting myself back on track. When I say back on track, I mean mental health wise, feeling a lot better about myself and getting my head around the journey, where it's come, what went wrong, and really reflecting. I kind of hope that you get where I am now and you understand my journey and how it took them ups and downs. The positive is going on the new you plan and doing a different diet and being really restrictive taught me a massive lesson, a massive, and I am actually really glad I did it because I needed to do that, to know that. I need to work on self-love and loving myself and accepting me for the quirky, weird, non-aesthetically pleasing individual that I am. I need to just love who I am. I'm outgoing, I'm adventurous, I have all these good qualities. I'm caring, I'm loving, I'm a lot of things. But I need to not be trying to change the way I am to please other people and to be what somebody else maybe wants me to be. Because ultimately, I quite like who I am. And I like aspects of me. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to be sexier and prettier, and who wouldn't? But that's not where my life's gone, and that's not where it's going. And ultimately, that is what it is. So I don't want this to be a hate on Oliver moment, because it's not, because a lot of these things are my issues. And if I put onus and responsibility all on Oliver, I will never come to terms with all of these things. But that is a thing in progress, and that's something that I'm hoping to battle and come to terms with and sort out from now. So I am now back from holiday. I do have a couple of day trips and holidays planned for the last part of this year on the run up to Christmas, But I also have missed healthy eating. I've missed being more balanced. I've missed not just the weight loss, I've missed the way I feel. And I think I've made a massive changes to my life. My life's totally different to when I started this journey. Like completely different. And I like that and I want it to be that different. So today I have started back at, well, I say I've started back on Slimming World. I've not gone to group yet and I will. I think there's something holding me back going to group because it's like I am scared that I will get back obsessed with getting weighed and that pressure. So I'm just getting my head around that and deciding what's the best route to take with that. I'm not gonna lie because I haven't decided yet. But I do like the Slimming World plan. So I know it quite well. I've done it enough. I haven't got the app, to do like sins and stuff. So I'm not sure whether stuff's changed. But my fundamental go-to was eggs for breakfast, which I am having. My black beanies coffee. Last night I did some food prep, so I've got some salad in the fridge. And I have made myself a vegetable soup because it's the burr month, so who doesn't love vegetable soup? That's an easy go-to for me just to eat on the go, if that makes sense. Like I'll take it to work, I'll eat it when I get home if I'm starving. I've bought myself some Muller yogurts. I know people say that these are not really good for you, but they are actually my saviour and I really enjoy them. And I'm heading into being a lot more balanced with this. Now, do I know where it's going to go? No, I don't know where it's going to go, if I'm going to be honest. Am I determined to stick on this? Yeah, I am actually. I will fall again. I know I will. But I'm quite liking that I'm getting my head around that that's okay. And as much as I love people who watch my videos and give me their opinions, and I do want them, please keep them coming, I'm learning not to put a massive amount of pressure on myself for other people. It's more about what's right for me at that time, which is that's revolutionary for me. I've never really truly owned that. So here is day one for me, and I hope that your weight loss journey is going well. I hope that mine gets better. Just to round this up, I sold all my fatter clothes, so I was in a size 16. I've now put that much weight on that most of my size 16s that aren't stretchy do not fit me anymore. I'm defo a size 18. I am now just wearing the stretchy clothes because I refuse to buy bigger clothes because that was a good part for me. That was a good move because it allows me not to just comfortably go into fatty clothes. I'm devastated that loads of my lovely clothes that I bought now don't fit me. So I'm using that as a bit of a gauge and motivation for me to push on with this. That's what I want to do. So think thin. I wish you luck. If you're still following me along and you've stuck with me through this journey, I really appreciate it. If you're just popping in, then brilliant. You're also welcome. And think thin for the week.